Hey, what's up? It's Annika and welcome back to my channel. So, I have been a little bit off the grid for the past week and a half. I haven't posted, which is very unlike me because I really like to get 3 YouTube videos up a week. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Annika. I take you along my debt-free journey. I'm on my way to paying off over $229,000 in debt, and I am documenting it all along the way, so make sure you subscribe if you are not already. So I'm even losing like my intro skills, I guess, because it's been so long since I've like talked to the camera. It's been at least like 2 or 3 weeks since I've actually picked up this camera because the last few videos I did film like a few weeks ago. So, some disclaimers. This is not clickbait. This actually happened to me based off the thumbnail and the title and everything, and been a rough one. I would also like to say that if you have mean comments for me and you want to call me stupid, please don't, because you will make me cry. Like, trust me, after going through the scam itself, like I was there firsthand, I realized, obviously looking back, that I shouldn't have let it happen, but yeah, so we'll get there. So we're gonna spill some tea today, and in my case, it's going to be a Smirnoff Seltzer. They're my fave. But yeah, so let's get into it. Straight up, I was scammed by a puppy scammer, meaning I went online to what I thought was like a reputable place to look for puppies to adopt, and I've been searching for months, and I'm in that place where like I really want a puppy, and I actually puppy sat. If you've watched my past videos, one of my friend's puppies who is a little beagle puppy, so I really fell in love with the breed, and I have my heart set on getting a beagle puppy. Long story short, I scoured all of the like shelter sites, the pet finder, the rescues in my area, in my state, in Washington state, in California. If you don't know, I live in Oregon, so like Idaho, all surrounding states, and it has just been insane. Obviously, since the beginning of quarantine last March of 2020, between that time and the rest of this quarantining time, people have been adopting a lot of pets. So they're really hard to come by, actually. So I actually got in touch with my friend who had the little beagle puppy, her name was Bailey, to contact the breeder that they bought Bailey from. Now, before you come for me, I am all for adopting and not shopping. Of course, like there are pets that show up in rescues that need homes and senior dogs that need love too. We have 2 dogs actually that are rescues, and I do believe in adopting, not shopping. My heart became set on a beagle, so I became okay with the fact that I was purchasing from, or that I wanted to purchase from a breeder. So I will put that out there. Of course, I would love to adopt a beagle puppy, but they just don't exist on this coast. Like, I have been posting on Facebook sites. I've joined probably 10 Facebook groups in search of a puppy. Like, I wasn't even getting specific on the beagle brand, the beagle breed. And like, no hits. There's a lot of lab puppies, a lot of German Shepherd, a lot of pitties, which like I love those dogs. They just will be too big for me. Like, this is going to be my puppy. Our other dogs are like our family dogs, and I know I will eventually move out of here and the puppy will be coming with me. So I want to train it from birth, essentially, from a very young age, and it will be my puppy, my full responsibility, everything. So that's where I was coming from. And I'm fairly certain in the future, any dogs that I do have joined my family in the future, long in the future, they will be rescues, and I'm all for that. I just like I have my heart set on a beagle puppy. So that's like background for you. So the fact that there are no beagle puppies on the West Coast available like this year. So I was actually searching on my phone for more rescues. Like, I refresh Pet Finder literally 3 times a day. Like, I was on it in this entire location, in the entire country. Like, at this point I was like, I will drive to the puppy. I will fly to the puppy. Like, I was just sold on it. Like, I was so emotionally invested, and I had like blinders on, like it was tunnel vision, and I was like very desperate for any kind of grab at a puppy. I came across this website, a breeder's website, which will remain unnamed because honestly it's more for my protection. Like, I don't want you guys like searching it up and be like, yeah, you're so stupid, why would you buy from this website? Because yeah, I know. And once again, like, I've already gone through the phase of being really upset about it, being down on myself about it for not realizing sooner and all of that. But again, my emotional goggles were on. I just was like, beagle puppy, goggles are on, not even thinking about this with like common sense. And yeah, it was just a really bad situation for me, which I put myself in. So I found this breeder site. They had beagle puppies listed, and I found this one puppy, so precious. I fell in love. This puppy that existed, I immediately was like, I'm interested. I sent an inquiry in, and the person got back to me in like a matter of minutes. They texted me and were like, hey, you're interested in this puppy, like how soon do you want it, like blah blah blah, and like talking about it and everything. And I was like, yes, I'm very interested. I want pictures of the parents. Can I get a recent photo? Like, where are you located? All of this stuff. They had an address. They had pictures of the parents and all of these things that seemed okay. And I didn't have my guard up really. Like, my guard was very much down, which was like a big no. And they emailed me a contract being like, okay, we need your information, sign this contract, and then send payment, and we will get your puppy prepped and ready to go. They had a shipping service with like a pet transport service. Like, there's a lot of different pet transport services out there, and I didn't know anything about that. I was just like, oh great, like you can transport the puppy for me. And like in my mind, I chose like a nanny lap option, which means someone would travel with the puppy in the cabin so that she wouldn't go in cargo and be so scared, and then they would literally drive her to my house. So I was just like, great, this is all fabulous. Like, it's all working out great, because they were located in Nebraska, which is very far away from Oregon. So me not having my guard up was just like, yeah, sounds great. Let me sign the contract. Like, I sent it to my friends and family being like, how do we feel about this? Like, and everyone naively, just like me, were just like, yeah, like, looks good to me. Like, it was a very well done contract, let me tell you. But silly me, I sent payment through Zelle. I did that. Yes, I did. I'm like embarrassed to even tell you how much I sent because I was just an idiot, and it wasn't a deposit. It was full blown money sent through Zelle, debited from my account, gone. And this breeder kept messaging me, great, we'll give you your information later this week after we go to the vet and all of this stuff. I was like, okay, great. A few days go by. I don't hear from them. I start contacting them being like, hey, like what's the delivery details, like how's it going, like update me. Nothing. They straight up ghosted me for the day. And I was like, because the puppy was supposed to come the next day, so this was the day before that, so I was concerned. Obviously, guard went way up at this point being like, yo, did y'all just take my money and run? So I immediately filed a claim with my bank to report it as spam and like fraudulent and everything, because it was through Zelle, which is backed by banks like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, etc., etc. So it like makes you think that it's like a more secure kind of insured form of digital payment, but it's not, which is so annoying and frustrating to me, because due to the fact that it was backed by my bank and like directly incorporated with my bank's app, it was just like, okay, well, why do you guys endorse this if it's just stealing money from people when they get scammed and they're idiots like me? So I was convinced that this puppy was not coming, thinking, does this puppy exist? Blah, blah, blah. I reached out to the breeders so many times. I was texting them, calling them, literally like 20 times, emailing them, just being like, what is up? They respond back to me the next day. Hi, so sorry, we had an emergency come up, some stupid bullshit excuse. Your puppy, we're on the way to the airport right now. And I was like, hello? Like, okay, hope you're okay, I guess. They sent me shipping information. They sent me a whole fake puppy transport service website with a tracking number. Like, this was such an elaborate scheme that like I don't feel that bad about me falling for it, but at the same time, like looking back on it, like hindsight's 2020, of course, one, never send full payment over Zelle. If anything, use PayPal, because that's insured and they have protections against or for their users for things like this. So yeah, trust me, I already know all that. But I'm more of just like sharing this, like sharing my story, because I do share a lot of my life on YouTube, as well as my journey along the way, my finances, and all of that with you, so you can learn from me and not follow in my footsteps for the mistakes that I've made. So that's more of kind of like why I'm sharing this. So then after I get this whole elaborate website that obviously had to be super fake, I talked with someone on the phone for this like transport agency service, and it seemed so legitimate. We were emailing back and forth, they emailed me confirmations and all of this other stuff. I did not get an airline confirmation though, which is something that you get if you are using a pet transport service. I did not get that, although in the moment I was just so like, puppy's coming, like can't see anything else, not using common sense, like all this crap, which is definitely on me. But so I went from, oh, okay, this is a scam, to this puppy's coming now. I have a shipping confirmation. It seems very legitimate, and a website where I can literally track it. It told me puppy's registered for the flight. Puppy is on the flight, like on its way, like all of this elaborate things with like timestamps and like all of this crap that I fell for. They sent me another email being like, crate is not in compliance with airline whatever, send us a deposit for a crate that we have, and then you'll get that money back when the puppy is delivered and we can take the crate back. So it just turned into more, oh, okay, puppy made it to Denver, Colorado. There's an issue with the delivery. Puppy had to spend the night in a pet hotel. Like, don't worry, puppy's being taken care of. Like, meanwhile, this agent is emailing me back and forth, like, all these updates being like, oh, don't worry, like, it'll be on our dime. And, like, sending another email being like, oh, we need this pet insurance. You have to pay this before the puppy can make it to Oregon. And all this bullshit. And obviously it took me way longer than it should have to be like, this is a scam, stop. I'm not sending you more money, like, stop. And yeah, so that sucked. I was out 4 figures at this point, and I was just so convinced that like I have to follow up with these people because there's like a puppy sitting somewhere in a crate, when really there was no puppy all along. The puppy did not exist. The transport service does not exist. Fake name, fake numbers. I paid over Zelle, which you should never do. I'm never using Zelle again. Like, I am bashing Zelle, thumbs down from me. It's recommended that you only use Zelle with like close friends and family, which is like, why would I use Zelle then? I would use Venmo for like people I know. Anyways, I have no one to blame but myself for this fiasco. I definitely spiraled into a very deep depressive episode, because if you are unaware, I actually suffer from depression and severe anxiety, and this did not help my situation. I was prepping for a new puppy. I was so excited because I have just been waiting for this. I was so emotionally invested in it. And that's how these scammers like prey on you, because they know that you're emotional and vulnerable. So never again will I be falling for that, and never again will I be paying anything through Zelle. I don't care what it is. It's not coming through Zelle. But I did file claims with my bank to report the 2 payments that I made. We're not even gonna go there. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It's just like, I reported the 2 payments I made. It's not life-ending, like I will be okay. The downside of that, aside from being scammed and losing a lot of money, is that now I don't have a snowball payment for my debt. But thankfully, because I did pay off all of my credit card debt, I did pay off my car, and I have been better about keeping track of all of my finances, that I can afford the loss. Like, it's not setting me back. I don't have to pull from my emergency fund, which like I'm so immensely grateful for. This could have been like really, really bad for someone, and like obviously like it is still very bad. It's a very terrible situation. I wouldn't wish it on anyone except for maybe the scammers. But yeah, it's like I'll be okay. It's just very frustrating and infuriating and sad, and it just like, I felt so stupid. And I mean, now I know better. It took me losing a lot of money to learn from this situation and have my guard up and learn the right questions to ask and learn different signs and understand where exactly I went wrong multiple times. So yeah, that's my puppy scam story. This is all too common. These breeders will post on Facebook pages being scammers. These breeders will have websites working with full-on agencies in elaborate schemes, looking so authentic up to a certain point. And yeah, so long story short, don't do what I did. Although you probably wouldn't, because maybe you're smarter than me. If so, then great for you. Proud of you. But all this to say, I did not want to give up on searching for a puppy. Like, that, one, broke me because I was so emotionally invested in this puppy that didn't exist. Two, I thought I was getting this puppy. I was prepping for it. Like, I literally bought so many puppy things, which I'm going to share in a separate video, but I continued my hunt. I went back on these like Puppy Find, Pet Finder, like ASPCA, the shelter, the like Oregon dog, like all, like if you search in Google like dogs to adopt in my area, puppies to adopt in my area, I went through at least the first 3 full links on Google, like searching everywhere. And now I know better for like what to look for, what not to look for, and only use reputable like puppy finder sites and like word of mouth and like personal experience with certain people. The story does have a happy ending somewhat. Hopefully my claims will go through. Since it was through Zelle, it's not insured. I could never see that money again, which is really frustrating. I've kind of moved on forward from that because just dwelling on it will make me feel worse. And yeah, and it's not the end of my life. It's not ending my world. It's not setting me back. So I have that to be thankful for, that I am coming out the other end of this okay. Emotionally scarred, but I found another puppy. And now I know better. And yeah, so basically during my Google search, I found a site listing the 10 best like reputable pet sites, and like obviously the ones that you hear most often from people telling me, or like Google searches and like reviews and blogs from like actual real people and like reputable sources telling you only search for an animal on like these particular sites, watch out for this, watch out for this, watch out for this, which is obviously what I should have done in the first place, but you live and you learn. I found a puppy through puppyfind.com, I believe is the website, which was listed as a reputable like profile site. I found a bunch of beagle puppies and none of them in the area, so that sucks, but I will not be sending full payment for a dog that I have not met, so we're not doing that again. I sent in an inquiry asking, is like the female beagle puppy that I saw on their listing available? They got back to me pretty quickly and immediately were like, do you FaceTime? Like, first of all, they responded back on an iPhone using iMessage, which is already better. Sorry, Android users, but I do trust iMessage more than I trust the green text bubble, just saying. But they messaged me right away being like, oh, so excited that you're interested. Like, do you FaceTime? Like, let's chat. Like, let me get the puppies in order. Like, I'm with my family. So we immediately FaceTimed, like literally within the hour, talking about the puppy and not so much her life, but like she literally showed me like her whole house and like her whole family and all of her pets, and like her kids were like holding up the puppy, and I got to like meet the puppy, see the puppy's parents, see the puppy's like brothers and sisters, and like I told her about my like recent scam issue and how she was like, yeah, like I was recently scammed too, and like it's so crappy, like people out there really suck. And like they do, it just makes me so angry because they prey on like the emotionally invested people like me. It will not happen again though. It will not happen again. So she required a deposit over PayPal, which is insured, and it's only a deposit. So like even if I lost that, like that's like nothing compared to what I lost before. Like obviously you don't want to lose any money, but if you had to, you know what I mean. Long story short, I will be going to pick up the puppy, not this coming weekend, but next week, from DC. So I, like in her profile, she said like she doesn't do like shipping or transporting, but I was like, I will travel to puppy, I will come and get her. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully it works out for me. Obviously, like, it's hard for me to get my hopes up again because of what happened, but like it obviously makes me feel much better that she's like a reputable person taking a deposit over PayPal, which is insured. I got to actually see the puppy over FaceTime and like talk with her and her family and all of that good stuff. So I definitely want to do a video on how that turns out, but cross your fingers for me and send me all the good puppy vibes because I seriously need them. I literally have so much puppy stuff like ready to go. I've been watching puppy training videos, like I cannot wait. And don't worry, I'll show you all everything I got and how much I spent on it when that comes. So yeah, so moral of the story, do your research, don't be naive, never send money over Zelle. and trust no one. That's what I learned from this. And again, like, I will be okay. It will be heartbreaking if my bank comes back to me after going through my claims being like, there's nothing we can do about your money. Like, sorry. I've already kind of played out that scenario in my head though, being like, okay, just accept it, move on. Accept it, move on. Just like how my student loans, like, you took out 6 figures in student loans, accept it, move on, learn from it, don't do it again. So that's where I'm at. But yes, hopefully my new puppy works out. I'm like, I feel much better about this situation. But yeah, again, cross your fingers for me, and I will keep you updated on my debt-free journey, my puppy, and everything in between on my YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it and you're not gonna be as dumb as me. Thumbs up! But I really hope that this never happens to you or anyone that you know. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.